I had something happen to me uh, yesterday that made me realize that I haven't really covered a subject. You hear all the time that, customer service that's unbelievable and blowing customers away and going out of your way for customers is, the way to get ahead in business. And I believe in that. What I'm about to say does not at all downplay the way that I believe you should treat customers with respect, with eager positivity, with kindness. I am all about the fine people skills of being kind and helping customers and being eager to service them. I talk all the time about eager professionalism and the way to get ahead and the way to build rapport with customers. But there's this customer entitlement that has to be addressed, and every business owner has dealt with it. In today's day and age, and I'm not talking about all customers. I'm talking about a very small percentage of customers out there. And if you've been in business long enough, you've experienced this. These customers that are so entitled and are kind of out to take advantage of businesses. These are the type of customers that buy things at Amazon, at Walmart, and return them even when it was their mistake. And you know what I mean? It's just the people that are not doing the right thing when they go after these businesses for refunds or complaints or exchanges or whatever it is. And these big businesses like Amazon, Walmart, they write it off as the cost of doing business. But for us small guys, it is so much harder to do that, right? We don't have the scale to just write it off as a loss. So while we treat them fairly and we're not afraid to go out of our way for customers, we have got to draw the line somewhere, and we have got to stand up and avoid being walked on by these customers that are downright mean and abusive at times. I had a customer yesterday make outlandish claims and demands. They were moving out of a storage unit. They selected a non-climate controlled storage unit, and they had these boots that were like cloth boots that got mold growing on them. And I walked in the unit. The unit was not leaking. We did not have a leaky unit, but every now and then this gets reported because in Ithaca, it gets really hot during the day, really chills down at night, gets below the dew point, and there's condensation. Even inside the units, there can be condensation. So this happened in the unit. This customer goes to move out of the unit, and there's mold on the items. They reach out to me, and it is the end of the world. They delayed the flight to fly back to California for the student who was, this mother flew into Ithaca to move the student back into the dorm. They had to delay the flight. She wanted me to pay for the flight. She wanted me to refund the entire summer worth of storage, which is over $350. She wanted me to pay for the replacement boots, and pay for an extra night at a hotel that she had to do, all because of this issue where some boots got moldy. She was being outrageous. Like, she wouldn't talk to me clearly on the phone. She was screaming at me. And, I just kept trying to talk her down. I kept being patient with her. Obviously, you cannot be rude to customers. But then about 4 hours after we initially talked, she sent an email blackmailing me with posting the photos and basically pulling our company through the mud on Facebook. And in these show notes, you can click. I'm going to link to a screenshot of this email that this customer sent me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really what it's all about now. And how do we respond to that as a business owner? It amazes me the amount of customers that emotionally bully and harass my customer service reps. These customer service reps that are working at home, answering calls for Storage Squad, it's amazing the amount of them that harass and bully and name call these customer service reps. I listen to these recordings. I'm listening to the recordings, and it makes my blood boil. I get angry. They're screaming, they're yelling, they're name calling. That stuff has absolutely no place anywhere in life, let alone to somebody who lashing out on somebody who's just trying to do their job. I mean, it's crazy. My brother, another example of this is my brother runs a lawn care landscaping company, and I'm helping him with a lot of the quotes. I'm helping him put together the quotes, do the work, and a customer actually reached out to, a customer was just being really mean to him and like bullying him. And my brother's only 24 years old. This older gentleman was literally bullying him and try to harass him and force him into his opinion, just to try to demeaning him through these email chains and phone calls. It was crazy. I mean, this stuff happens all the time. And the bottom line, as business owners, the customer is not always right. We have to stand up for ourselves, and we cannot take that kind of thing all the time. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with it? And there's really no good way to do it, but I'm gonna tell you how I frame it from my side of things. I'm always calm. I never get emotional. Step one, never get emotional. Always stay calm. But I also am very clearly state often that, we may not be a good fit. And I really think that you should go use a different company. Just a couple of days ago as well, it's a really busy season. A customer called me, couldn't get their unit open, and they were all upset. The day before, actually, they moved into a unit, and they said, I wanted one with a bigger door, so I switched their unit. He didn't know that I was the owner on the phone, this customer. Calls me up one last time and says, Nick, this is unbelievable. I cannot get this door open. So I tell him, these doors are a little bit tricky. Sometimes you got to push your foot down on the handle of the storage unit and slide the latch out of this little square hole. The spring kind of creates some friction there that you got to loosen up by stepping down the latch. And he lashed out and said, I'm handicapped. I cannot stand on this. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm unhappy with this facility. I can't do anything. And I took a deep breath. And I just waited about 5 seconds of silence. And I said, we may not be a good fit. I said, I don't appreciate being spoken to like this. We offer, we feel that we offer really good value to our customers. We offer really good service. It's our busy season right now. Maybe you were speaking to an untrained rep before, which he was talking to one of my part-time customer service reps, and he was really mean to them as well. And I said, we might not be a good fit. I completely understand. I will refund everything that you paid for me. I actually have 2 numbers here of other storage facilities that you may find to be a better fit. And he goes, oh, no. And mind you, I'm $5 cheaper than either of them. I basically just offered them his money back and said, please walk away. And he just said, well, and this is before he knew I was the owner. And he said, well, it's just ridiculous. I was talking to you last time and this and that. And I just said, listen, we have the best rates in Ithaca. I know that. I would be more than happy. And at this point, I would just prefer it if you went somewhere else. I just don't get a good feeling from this. I want customers that really appreciate me, that treat me with respect, that I like to be around and that I want to help. I just really don't think this is going to work. And he said, okay. I'm sorry for getting emotional. And he ended up staying with us just because he didn't want to pay the $5 extra and move all the stuff to the other unit. And our service wasn't bad. He was dwelling on things, trying to beat us up on price or doing whatever. The bottom line here is that the customer is not always right. Okay, when you make a mistake, man up and do the right thing. But if you are getting taken advantage of by a customer, which happens often, any business owner knows this. If you are getting taken advantage of by a client, if you're a freelancer and a client is being mean to you, bullying you, not paying you, being unfair to you just because they know they have the upper hand, walk away from that. If you're a service provider and a homeowner is a pain and yelling and complaining, have the guts to say, you know what, I really appreciate you as a customer. I'm so sorry and I take full ownership of what happened, but we are not right for each other. We need to move on. I'm really sorry. I'm busy. I got to go. And just walk away. All right. Even if that means losing money, even if that means a negative review online, you got to have the guts to stand up for yourself. You got to have the guts to stand up for your employees. And you can do it in such an eloquent, skilled way. Never yell at a customer. Never curse at a customer. You can do it in such a calm, cool, respectful way that almost every time they'll reconsider. They'll tell you that they're sorry, that they mean business, that they need you, and that that they should stop doing that. They'll get that point. So the bottom line is that they're not always right. Saying no is a skill that takes so much time to develop. We talk about saying no when it comes to time management. We talk about saying no when it comes to opportunities. Saying no when it comes to customers is a big part of this. So part of the problem is our inability to manage expectations. We naturally, when we get on the phone with a customer, we want to overpromise, we want to make the sale, we want to tout. We talk about the trifecta, right? Cost, timeline, and service. We tout low cost, we tout a quick timeline, and we brag about amazing service. Okay, that sets you up with unreasonable expectations. Things are stressful for you and for the customer from the get-go. You're constantly playing catch-up. You're constantly trying to meet those expectations. You as a business owner are going to just be in a stressful mess. There's a fine art to closing deals by delivering bad news or the worst case scenario right off the bat. Okay, I'm still working on that. I've gotten so much better at it, and I sleep a lot easier at night because I have a lot of customers that are surprised because I'm under what I told them they were going to pay. I'm faster than what I told them they'd be able to do, and I have less fires to put out. Everybody wins. So let's also talk about scope creep. You get customers that they know they kind of have you because they're your big customer, they're a high-paying customer. They want more, they want different, they want this, they want that, they want the other. It's scope creep. They're asking you to do things that are not in your wheelhouse. They're asking you to do things that might not be profitable to you, that might not be what you're good at. So some of this extra stuff, it ends up being the stuff that causes more problems, more refunds, more wasted time, more, just stress and more upset customers. So you got to know right then to say no to the scope creep and stay in your wheelhouse and do what's best. So you should spend a good deal. Another thing is that you should spend a good deal of your energy vetting customers. Everybody always thinks that, you're selling, and customers are buying. Customers have all the power. No. If you haven't listened yet, go back and listen to my podcast episode or check out the YouTube video where I interviewed Oren Klaff. He does an excellent job talking about how, as a business owner, as a salesman of any type, you got to even out that status. You got to make sure that customers know that you are also shopping for customers. You want good customers. You're not going to do business with a customer that's unreasonable or not, somebody who doesn't want to pay your price, or somebody who's going to beat you up on price, or somebody who's going to complain. Oren's episode, he does a phenomenal job outlining the ways that you can approach these customers to vet them right off the bat and make sure that they are the right type of customer for you. So that's a big, big part of it. Another thing to point out is that many business owners, they just get so emotional about customers. They get so emotional about bids. They get so emotional about winning the business. They get that competitive drive of just wanting to win. So they discount. They take on customers that aren't, good for them in the first place. So you have to get over that emotional feeling that you have to win every customer at all costs, and that upset feeling that you get when you lose a customer. So getting past that is all part of the evolution. It's all about avoiding as many of these headache customers as you can before they start, right? There's only so much you can do. When a customer's yelling at you, when a customer's screaming at you, you can't yell back. You can't curse at them. You can't hang up on them. Well, you can, but basically you just got to talk them through it, do a really good job at talking them down using tactical empathy. I mean, a lot of the things that Chris Voss talks about in Never Split the Difference really apply to that. Just mirroring to them, like repeating to them their feelings. Okay, so you feel like I've really ripped you off here. Or you feel like I understand that you feel that you've been really mistreated here. Or I understand that you feel that this was really unfair for you. Little statements like that, like just naming their emotion, does a huge amount to diffuse these angry customers. And then you walk away from them because these customers are going to only be more of a pain in the butt for you. We talk all the time about the 80% of your headaches that come from 20% of your customers. You got to find those 20% of your customers and fire them. You got to avoid the headaches before they start. That's the best way to approach this. And then, just use tactical empathy, keep your emotions out of it, and have the guts to stand up for yourself and walk away from some of these customers. So I hope this really helps. I know that I deal with it every single day. I've dealt with tons and tons and tons of angry customers. We service 10,000 customers a year, and about 500 of them have a negative experience, about 5%, and about 1% of them, were delayed by a full day, or we're missing an item when we show up for delivery. It's a tough business. All business is tough. You just got to learn how to manage expectations up front. You got to learn how to vet your customers. You got to learn how to say no to things that you're not good at. And then if you do get those customers, you got to learn how to turn them away, and you got to learn how to diffuse the situation with things like tactical empathy and labeling, and just really staying calm, keeping your emotions out of it, and treating customers fairly, obviously, also helps a lot. So hope this helps for you. Thanks for listening.